everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, and happy live Q&A Friday. We're super happy to be with you here today. I'm here in Kelowna, BC, and I am with Dr. Wolfe, and he is joining us all the way from Ixtapa, Mexico. How's it going?
It's going great. It's hot, but it's beautiful down here. I'm at Nuevo Zelanda restaurant just near where I'm staying, and they're providing me all my organic carrot juice. And no, they're not giving me waffles and sundaes and all these other things that you're seeing. But you know what? They're letting me use their internet, which is really cool.
Awesome.
So, thank you everybody for joining us today. And we've got a lot of questions, but Abby, is there anything that you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, definitely. I have a couple announcements for everybody today. So, of course, we would love for everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a beat. We are always posting so many videos, so many educational things for you to really learn from. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, and our Instagram for all the newest, latest, greatest tips and tricks and news from us. And of course, we do have our certification courses coming up again. We just finished our Kelowna one, I guess that was last week. And our next one coming up is February. So it is filling up really quick, and it is in San Antonio, Texas. So if it is something you've been thinking about doing, definitely jump on that soon because time is running out and so are spaces. And then we will be in Kelowna, BC again in April, and then Palm Springs in June, and Orlando in September. And again, those are the ones that we have scheduled so far. We are looking at doing some other courses, one for Australia and Brisbane, Australia, London, UK, and wherever else we want to go. I know we're thinking about going to Ixtapa as well.
Yeah, and we're also going to be adding the UK. Like I said, we are adding the UK on, and we might be doing that at the Hilton in London. Okay. Everybody?
Awesome.
Yep.
So a
So,
little bit more information on that one. So that's good.
yeah, and everybody, there's been a few people asking. This is day 6 of my carrot juice fast, and tomorrow's day 7. And then I'll be kicking in the water fast with some fulvic, some ormus, and ATP. And I'll be doing that for 7 days. And then when I come off of that, then I'll be going on vegetable juice, or I should say vegetable broth, not vegetable juice, vegetable broth for about 7 days. And then I'll wean myself back into eating. So it's like, let's put it this way. Um, a lot of people would say, "Oh my gosh, you're going to lose too much weight." But the thing is I don't have a lot of weight to lose. But what I want to lose is that stubborn fat. Okay, now you know that stubborn fat that you try to exercise off, and it doesn't go off. You get frustrated with it. Well, that's actually heavy metals and some of the worst toxins in your body. So they get really stubborn and they get really cemented. Okay, and then they lose circulation because the more toxins you have in your fat cells, the less circulation you have. And if you ever notice that fat is usually colder than the rest of the body, it's not hot unless it's inflamed, which means you've got inflammation in there. Abby?
Definitely. And that's so exciting that you're doing it this way with the juice fasting before and then going into the water fast. It's going to be a really big transformation. You can see it in your skin already. I know you're down in Mexico, so you're getting extra vitamin D from the sun, but you can tell that that juice cleanse is definitely working its magic. And really, that is the best thing about fasting is that it's getting rid of the most stubborn fat and the most stubborn toxins in the body. And that's why it's so amazing for this period as well, because it's one of the most enlightening things you can do because you're really lifting out the things that are weighing you down the most. So it's amazing. And everybody,
Yeah.
we encourage you to go check out our the perfect day, of course, the nutritional guide we have. That's the first step. And then check out Fasting for Perfect Health, where we go through different ways you can do fasting, whether it be a 24-hour fast, 48-hour, or you can even go into the extended. So that's in the DocTalk if you don't know where that is already.
Yeah.
And
So
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, everybody, you need to understand something. Weight Watchers and all of these other people that are trying to sell you products, you don't need products. You need Mother Nature. All right. And you don't even need food. Okay. The problem is we eat too much, and when we don't eat anything, we put you know, when I came down to Extop, I said, I'm going on kind of a work and relaxation holiday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my digestive tract a total holiday so that it can reshape itself, so that it can renew itself. I hope you know, guys, that in about 6 days, you can totally renew yourself, release like stem cells, autophagy, eating away the old dead cells or the cells that are really damaged that cannot repair themselves. And I want you to also understand something, that you will be so clear-headed and clear thinking after this. Okay, and the only other thing that you could stick in there would be a coffee enema, eh, Abby?
Oh, definitely. You always want to stick one of those somewhere.
Well, somewhere. Okay,
Definitely.
so
I just have a couple more announcements just about upcoming shows. So
okay,
today at 3 p.m. we have EMF Crystal Protection with Peter Webb, and that's all about the crystal bodyguard protectors, the protectors that are for the home as well. And then Wednesday, December 4th, we have Unleash the Healer from Within at 3 p.m. Wednesday, December 11th, Revitalizing Your Life and EMF Protection, and that's a live Q&A with Peter Webb. And again, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Friday, December 13th, we'll be back with our live Q&A at 3 p.m. again. And that brings us to our questions. Ready to go?
thanks, Abby.
All
Take it
right.
away.
So Oksana, live from YouTube, asks, what would you recommend for lymph node inflammation? Doctor in the clinic prescribed naproxen, and it's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug used to treat menstrual cramps, inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis and fever.
Okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to actually bring down the inflammation and trying to bring down the fever. And I'll tell you something. One of the most dangerous things you can ever do is to kill a fever. You can kill a fever and actually damage someone. So I'm not telling you to let the fever go way above heights that are dangerous, but don't kill a fever. And there's a way that you can actually help to get rid of the fever and master the fever. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Here's the deal. If you've got lymph node inflammation, then you've been constipated for 10, 20, 30 years, because the lymph system dumps into the large intestine. And if the large intestine is backed up or caked up along the walls, it's not going to dump in there. And also, guess what? I guarantee you this person is overweight. All right. It's hard to believe, but you know what? I'm probably 10 or 12 pounds over the weight that I want to be, which I won't be anymore. And I'm not going back ever again. Thank you very much. But I guarantee you that if a person has lymph congestion, okay, they are not drinking water at all. They are eating a highly processed diet, okay, or this person, okay, their bowels haven't been moving. So it's got to be something like that. So the first thing that I would do with somebody that had lymph congestion is I would tell them to go on a fast, because now we're going to get all the water in, and it could be just a vegetable juice fast. I would definitely tell them, if they didn't want to do that, to do the daily cleansing tea, because get that cork out of your butt, girl, and get your bowels moving at least 2 to 3 times a day, so that you can start cleaning off the walls so the lymph will dump. You know, if you want to really know about this, go read the Abdominal Effect of Unhealthy Living, and you'll see that in the guide. Abby?
Definitely. That's the first place we always want to look is the large intestine, because that's the holy grail of healing. So we need to take a look at doing the daily cleansing teas, the tummy love to get those bacteria in balance, and doing coffee enemas. Let's really get in there and work on cleansing and dumping those toxins so that everything else is going to function better. Because if the liver isn't dumping properly, that's going to back up on the lymph too. So we just really need to clean up the large intestine, get everything moving properly. And then things that we can do to help stimulate the lymph externally, we can be doing rebounding for exercise. The core twisting is really great. And also doing like the dry skin brushing to really stimulate that movement of lymph, and the cocoa salt glows, which you can find those in The Perfect Day in the library as well.
And understand something. You know what? Where's the fulvic? I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
want to take the liquid fulvic concentrate. You want to do the black holes because you've got to clean up. You've got to clean up that whole digestive tract. And remember something. The fulvic is going to pick up all the heavy metals, all the acidity, and it will actually hold 3 times its weight in toxicity. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. So you want to look at the fulvic concentrate, you want to look at the black gold, and you want to look at the daily cleansing tea. And guess what? If you're not completely satisfied, let us know and send them back, because that is an amazing, amazing thing. And
Mm-hmm.
understand something. People don't understand this at all. But guess what? Adhesions in the abdomen
Mm-hmm.
and bowel blockages are the main cause of this as well. I mean,
Definitely.
take a look in your abdomen. Or have you had a cesarean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Have you
even a lot
had
of
any mesh?
pregnancies.
Right. Or have you had mesh put into your pelvis because you've had a hernia or your uterus was dropping out? There's a
Mm-hmm.
question today that somebody's actually asking about that.
Okay.
So
Um,
all of these things are going to cause the constipation, going to cause the
mhm.
inflammation. And remember something, your pelvic area is the holy grail along with your large intestine. And we've got lymph nodes where? In our groin, under our arm, our neck, behind our knees, at our ankles. We have them other places, but those are the main zones.
All right. Next question from Jennifer in Iowa called in to ask, my daughter is 26 and she has a dropped uterus and they want to put mesh in her. What can I
There.
tell her? What are her options?
Okay, well, first of all, I will tell you this much, that I think it's Johnson and Johnson has 65 um, 65,000 lawsuits against them for mesh and for hip replacements. How's that?
Wow.
And mesh is a foreign body. It's a foreign invader. And if I can say something about the mesh, what was her mother's name?
Um, Jennifer.
Jennifer. The mesh that they're going to put in, okay, here's what happens. It inflames the pelvis, the whole pelvic area. So when it inflames the pelvis, the first thing the body does is it cries, oh my God, inflammation, mutation, degeneration. So what it does is it sends tons of fibrin down to the pelvic area. And in doing that, have you ever gone by a building and they were pouring cement and you saw these big steel bars? Those are called rebar. Now, what happens is look at the mesh as being rebar, and then look at the actual uterus and the other tissues around, like the fallopian tubes and the bladder, as being the cement. But here they weren't the cement, but they become the cement because they become inflamed, and then scar tissue comes to the area. And guess what? The scar tissue wraps around the rebar, and this becomes a solid mass of scar tissue crystallization and calcification. And it's a hard mass.
Yeah.
So now, oh my God, my uterus isn't falling out, but now it's a cement rock. And what happens is it cuts down the circulation, and the worst part is the microcirculation going into the ovaries, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, the bladder. And I'm telling you something, if you want to stick something somewhere you shouldn't stick it, they just stuck a piece of dynamite up your daughter's vagina, and it's going to blow her up. You need to go and take a look. Her life will be ruined. And I will tell you something, if making love is not a problem, she gets off easy. If pooping is not a problem, she got off easy. If urinating is not a problem, she got off easy. And I'll tell you something, you've just destroyed the main core area for creating the hormonal balance and energy in the human body. So this would not be my way. So I would tell Jennifer, what's her weight? What's her diet like? And what's her mind like? Because I'm telling you something, where the mind goes, the body follows. And I'm telling you, most people are insane today because they listen to the media, okay, and they worry so much. Look, I just did a consultation on a lady today, and they're a farming couple. And I will tell you something. When we started off the conversation, she said, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. And about 15 minutes into it, she's going, oh my gosh, I do spend my day worrying. And so stress is the silent killer. stress is what creates all the acidity. But as far as the uterus dropping out, well, I guarantee you that the transverse colon that's supposed to be up by your ribs is now sinking off into the sunset, lower and lower. And then it's going to push the small intestine down and put pressure on your pelvis and choke your ovaries and uterus and bladder. And you're choking the whole area off. And if the uterus is falling down and wanting to come out your vagina, then just think of all the pressure, not just the physical pressure, but the toxic waste pressure from that large intestine. Listen, everybody, you need to get this. You're being poisoned by your immune system. Your immune system, 85% of it is your large intestine, and you do not give it the care and the love it deserves, because the medical system and even most of natural health care still have not emphasized it, except go buy acidophilus, go buy good bacteria. Hey, I've got the best bacteria. And I will tell you something, that it's not about the bacteria that you buy in a bottle. It's actually mommy's bacteria. And as soon as you start to clean up the terrain, okay? And also, Abby, why don't you tell them about doing like the pelvic squat or the pelvic enhancer, and doing what would be the best thing? Talk about the abdominal lift and getting in there with the Wolfe Non-Surgical, and what we would be doing and how we could turn this around in 2 to 3 treatments.
Totally. And that's what we see all the time. People think that it's falling out, so I got to get surgery. I got to go get this taken care of. But it fell out, something pushed it out, so we can get it to come back into place. That's just how everything works. So with what we do with our abdominal lift, so we have our abdominal lift and our pelvic clearance. So they kind of go hand in hand in a situation like this, because with the transverse colon dropping down, like Dr. Wolfe was explaining, we really need to go in and open up the entire abdominal area, so that way when we do go to bring the transverse colon back up into place, there's no adhesions in the area causing it to be blocked to go in. That's why it's kind of dropping. So essentially we push it back up into place, and then with the pelvic clearance we clear out any scar tissue, adhesions, crystallization, calcification that can be along the pubic bone and into the pubic and like into the around the hip bones, around the ovaries. You'll find like 2 baby fists of scar tissue, crystallization, calcification. We see so many different things going on in the pelvic region, whether it be on a male or a female, we see the same things. So we really go in and we clear that out, and then we're making room for that uterus to go back into place where it's meant to be. And then with the therapies we do with the pre-care, so we have our pelvic activation squat, the belly button therapy, and the pelvic expander. You can find our videos on how to do all of that in our Detox library. We did post them on Facebook as well, and I'm sure they're on YouTube and Instagram also. But anyway, so they're absolutely incredible. It opens up your pelvis. The expander is going to open up your pelvis better than any stretch you can do, better than yoga. If you were to do yoga for an hour, doing this for 15, 20 minutes is going to give you a better opening of your pelvic girdle than anything else you can do. The pelvic activation squat is really going to open and release your hip flexors and even your low back through your glutes to really just free everything so you have the proper movement and flow. And of course, belly button therapy, we talk about this a lot, but that's going to help with stimulating your good bacteria. It's going to help with dumping the serotonin and dopamine that's produced in the gut. So that's 70% serotonin, 50% dopamine. And then, of course, it's really going to help with just pain and inflammation and really stimulating that gut to open up all those adhesions, because lifestyle, we're always going to be taking things in. So we need to be always doing the belly button therapy. If you even do it 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes before you go to bed at night, that's going to stimulate so many good things in your body, from hormones to the good bacteria to just helping you raise your core body temperature by that 2 degrees, because that's what it's all about. When we want to really prevent disease, we need to have a core body temperature that is higher. So that way everything's going to really just stick and stay in the place that it needs to be. And then after all that's done, I would really just be making sure I follow the perfect day following the perfect day. Intermittent fasting is so important. But if it was me in the situation, I would be doing extended fasting. I would be doing a 14-day fast. If you look in the fasting guide for perfect health, it talks about how amazing it is for hormonal reset. So that's a 14-day to a 21-day fast. Of course, it's going to take some time to work up to that, but that's all laid out in the guide, because you would go into doing the 3-day to maybe a 6-day and working your way up to that. But it's absolutely incredible for the entire reproductive system, especially when we're looking at maybe still getting pregnant, or maybe we're going through menopause and we don't want to have all of the symptoms that come with that. So fasting is incredible. And then I would also be getting an inversion table to encourage the organs and everything to really stay back in place. And that's all I have to say for that.
And you know what? Everybody, she didn't say a lot. There's not a lot of expense here. We can show you that. And we've done a series which is called the A to Z Wellness Guide, and there's going to be 22 videos, and it's going to be about 30 hours long, and it's actually a master class. And on Christmas, on Christmas Eve, all right, Christmas Eve, we're launching this for free until Boxing Day. So that will be free to everybody. And so if you want to sign up for that, if you want to get it, tell your family. I will tell you, I promise you, we're going to more than just stir things up for you. Definitely. Now let's go back to this uterus, okay? Because it's so important. Because I need you to understand something. I want you to write this down in your mind, if not on a piece of paper. In the United States alone, 500,000 women have a hysterectomy every year. I'm going to repeat that. 500,000 women have a hysterectomy every year. So understand something. Welcome to the chop shop. Okay, now I will tell you this, and you're going to say, BS, Darrell, that's a dysfunctional belief system. But I guarantee you that 90 to 99% of all of those women, if they would follow our perfect day, and if they would learn how to do things like the pelvic squat, the pelvic expander, if they were to get Wolfe Non-Surgical, this is going to be turned around. So how much do you love yourself? Do you want somebody to take a knife to you, or do you want someone to love you well and pull those fibers apart instead of getting a foreign object put up into your vagina to actually cause a cement block in there? You think you got trouble now? Wait till you see what trouble you've got. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, do your research, do your homework. Don't believe me. And listen to this. The more your abdomen sticks out and it's falling down, the more that your large intestine is falling down. And especially, you know, the abdomens that are hanging over the belt, the more they're hanging over, the more, if you're sagging, it's because you're toxic. If you're sagging in your abdomen, it's because your intestines are sagging. And for as much sagging as you are, if you're sagging 2 inches in your abdomen, then you're sagging 2 inches in your large intestine. So that means your poop's got to go up, and instead of coming across and then down in your large intestine, it's got to come up, go through a tight corner, and then it's got to come down into the valley, back up the mountain, through a tight corner, down around, but no wonder it looks like a rabbit turd, or you're just grunting and groaning until you give yourself a hiatal hernia because you popped your stomach up through because you've been pushing your diaphragm down for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So understand, we will teach you the rules. Listen, I'm not bad-mouthing you. I'm not putting you down, because when you got here, you've got a manual that everybody else is using, full of deception, because it was built for corporations. Abby, you want to take it away?
For sure. Walter Timothy, live from Facebook, asks, "Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have fatty lumps all over my body and on my hands. My doctor tells me it's lipoma, and the only way to get rid of them is surgery, and that's the last thing I want to do. Your thoughts, please." A lymphoma, for everybody out there, a lymphoma is a benign tumor made of fat tissue. They are generally soft to the touch, movable, and painless.
Okay, well, I wouldn't be scared of it, but Abby already said it. Listen, give me a call, Timothy. My extension is number 5 if you want. Yeah. Or you can talk to someone in the office, but understand something. You do whatever you want. Now, I want everybody to understand on this show, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I would do to the body that I love. Now, you're going to be different because the measurement of what you know and the measurement of how much you love yourself will determine on the decision that you make. Okay? So the reality is to have fatty lipomas all over your body, we're talking about a really bad diet here, Timothy. Do you like your alcohol? Do you like the sugars? Do you like all the gluten products?
Fried
And
foods.
yeah, fried foods. And your liver is just screaming. So I would take a look at, well, I'll let Abby tell you what to do. But the reality is, with all those fatty lipomas, guess who's got worms, Timothy? All
Yeah.
right? And understand something. Those worms hatched in you, they grew in you, and that's the biggest thing about that type of cancer is the worms. You've got to get rid of the worms. If you want to call us, we can help you with that. But the first thing you got to do is you got to get rid of the negative beliefs about yourself and about the world and about your family. Work on that right away. So look at the 12 Braveheart loving steps. And then Abby, and there is some other things. Take a look at the SAC calcium. And we're bringing in a new product that I will have in about 2 months that works on situations like this. So amazing. And I wish I could tell you right now, but I don't want to talk about the product until we have it. But it is a huge breakthrough, huge. And it's not
Awesome.
costly. So just give me 2 months. Now, Abby, how would you like to take it away and see what you can do with this and then pass the ball back to me?
Definitely. So I would definitely, of course, we're always going to come back to the foundational things. So really look at the perfect day. We really want to make sure we're doing structured water. And for this, I would be doing for sure a gallon of structured water a day, half of it by 11 or noon, and the remainder by 5. The perfect diet is completely laid out for you in the guide. So go check that out. But I would get you on fasting and start working that into your lifestyle as quickly as we can. So getting a perfect day consultation would be the best, or even doing a consultation with Dr. Wolfe if that's what you would want to do. But getting with the fasting is going to be the best thing ever because it's going to get you into that autophagy phase so much quicker than anything else. And that's where your body goes after all of these cells and foreign things that are in our body that are unhealthy. So it's like a Pac-Man and it eats all of this stuff up. So I would want to see you do an extended water fast pretty quickly, but we need to look at your health history and go over everything before we can really do that. And of course,
So
we would
here's
want to be doing like fulvic acid, the tummy leaven, but we would go over all of that with your customized plan.
Yeah, yeah, tummy love, fulvic acid,
Curcumin
and
cayenne,
curcumin cayenne, and daily cleansing tea is a
of
must
course.
for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't care if you tell me you're the most healthiest person in the world. If you're not on the daily cleansing tea, then you didn't get what I was saying about the holy grail being the large intestine.
Yeah.
So you really need to understand that. So I'm not trying to be a smarty. Well, sometimes I guess I am trying to be a smarty. Yeah, I've been told that. So, but here's the deal. Did you get these lipomas because of lack of surgery? And why doesn't everybody have these lipomas, Timothy? Were you cursed by God or are you cursed by your lifestyle? I want to ask you that question. And then I'm going to ask you another question. You know, you can get a consult with me or you can pay $125 and you get a consult with Abby or with Sarah and at least start on the perfect day for God's sakes. And even if you do go get those lipomas cut off, guess what? Unless you go on the perfect day, guess who's back? Okay,
And then we
Abby.
have all the scar tissue to deal with too from getting them cut out, which is the worst type of scar tissue you can have in the body is when it's cut with a knife. So we really want to avoid surgery as best we can, and 99% of all surgery is avoidable. We can take care of everything naturally. If the body changed something in you or created something that wasn't meant to be there, then we can figure out the solution to make it disappear as well. That's the beauty of what our body was designed to do. So definitely give us a call if you are wanting to really put together a program that will get you out of the situation completely.
And I'll just say this once. Guess what? The whole population of North America has forgotten since the medical system decided to be our healthcare that the body heals itself when it's put in the proper conditions and you follow the laws of nature. And that's the bottom line. Abby?
All right, next question is from Brenda Colleen live from Facebook, and she asks, the EMF guard you are wearing, if someone has amalgam fillings, does it block the protection of the EMF guard necklace?
No, it does not. There's no way that it's not even the same frequency. For one thing, this is radionics. That's in the. It's right here, Abby. Well, here I can show it. Everybody,
yeah.
Take a look. Mine's purple, and they come in pink, and they come in bluish green, like an aqua. And understand something. We'll give a money back guarantee that the amalgams won't affect it. Nothing affects this. This vibration is above everything else, and it creates more like a white noise against all EMFs, all 5G. If you can, everyone, watch the show this afternoon at 3:00 with Peter Webb, and we're only talking about the guards and the protectors, the bodyguards and the protectors. And you're going to find out that I don't expect you to believe me. I really don't. But they will help balance your thyroid, work on your hormonal system. They help with your skin. They help with bringing in the right frequencies for your nutritional support for your body. And they block EMF 15 feet up, 15 feet down, and 15 feet out, all the way around the body. Try it. Don't like it. Send it back. Nobody's done it yet. You're going to love it. And guess what? They're gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Hey, Abby?
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy with mine. I have the pink one. It's perfect. And honestly, they feel so good. I forgot to wear mine the other day, and I felt like I was missing something. I've noticed such a change in my intuition, and just I've been like getting different things coming through, which has been pretty cool. And for my health and for my skin, I've just noticed things just fall into place since I've been wearing it. It's been pretty cool. Like little things that I've been working on fixing for a while that just kind of corrected themselves since I've been wearing it. So it's pretty amazing.
And understand everybody, the intuition that Abby's talking about is called clarity. How would it feel to be clear? Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to clear out anything low vibrational, whether it's food, whether it's frequency, or whether it's people. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, next question from Laura Windbringer, live from Facebook. She asks, pouring distilled water through the water structuring device should bring it back to life, right? Our tap water here tastes so awful, I can't bring myself to drink it.
Distilled water will totally bring your structured water back to life. And I totally mean that. Take one bowl of distilled water, one bowl of distilled water that runs through your structure unit. And then I want you to put it down for your cat or your dog and watch in 1 week. He won't touch the distilled water, but by tomorrow morning, the structure water's gone. Because guess what? Oh, they have intuition too, which is they're clear. And when you are more high vibrational, you'll pick up what you need to do in life. And it's those beautiful, subtle things, not something screaming in your head when you're not clear.
Definitely. All right, so next question from Susan Walter, live from Facebook. She asks, what do you recommend for someone who has appendix issues? So many people and children have had to operate on their appendix. Wondering if that can be prevented.
Well, first of all, it's the daily cleansing tea. Mm-hmm. It's the black gold. It's the tummy love. And it's past the cheese, please. No dairy. No yogurt.
No.
Go ahead, Abby.
And I was just going to say, animal proteins can cause it as well, because if we aren't chewing our food properly, then trapped protein particles of food can get trapped, and that causes the inflammation, which can cause the appendicitis. So when any animal products are involved, which I don't think they should be, but if you're going to eat them, make sure you chew them very well, and even taking digestive enzymes and some HCl support can be amazing to ensure you're not going to have any problems down the road.
And I'll guarantee you this. I mean, the reason why so many children get their appendix out is because mommy and daddy forced them to eat meat too early, or made them eat too much meat, or made them eat cheese every day. Okay, so that's it. And that's the bottom line. It's an inflammatory problem in the appendix because a little piece of food gets caught in there and it rots and putrefies in the appendix, which then inflames the appendix, and the appendix can even burst. Why would an appendix burst? Well, because of the gas that the bad bacteria are farting. Gets caught in the appendix, and that's what causes an appendix to burst. Boy, that's science.
So complicated. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
it's complicated.
Yeah. Okay. Next question from Robin Trues, live from Facebook, asks, "Hello, Darrell. I have burning in my upper back on the left-hand side. What to do about old age spots, and how do I get rid of them? Thank you."
Well, first of all, the burning in her upper back on the left-hand side, well, that's probably near her shoulder blade, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So, yeah, and so
Inflamed.
it could be, well, it's an old injury. It's an old injury. And guess what? I want to tell this to everyone out there, and I want you to get this right now. Let's make some rules really clear. First of all, nothing causes scar tissue in the human body more than inflammation, and that's why most of you are going to be wearing Depends and having a cane or a walker or a wheelchair when you're in your 60s or 70s. This is why you're going to be thinking that you're old. I'll be 64 pretty soon, guys. All right? And I'm just getting to get the game on now. Okay? All right? Understand something. We have the knowledge that you could live to your 125 easy. All right? And it was done many times, and this is how you do it. You got to clear the mind, you got to clear the body. But let's get back to the scar tissue. So inflammation causes the scar tissue that causes aging on this planet, premature aging. It's what causes you to limp. It's what makes you into a victim. It causes you to go to surgery because you don't understand your body. Okay, so now, somewhere along the line, she could have even injured herself doing skipping rope when she was 5 or 6, and she tore it. But nobody helps that. Understand, every time that you tear a muscle, and you can feel it, or you feel like, oh, I can't move it for a few days, you need to see a Wolfe deep tissue therapist. And we don't do deep tissue, it's beyond deep tissue.
Oh, yeah.
We go in and take the fibers apart that have knotted up. See, what happens is you get this big knot, and she's got a knot in her shoulder. So or in her shoulder blade area. So when she gets tired, or she drinks alcohol, or she has a pizza, or she does something that creates inflammation, especially when you're tired, then what happens is your immune system drops, and the inflammation on the knot gets worse, so it swells a little, puts pressure on the nerve, and now you've got nerve pain. Most of the time, it's not muscle pain. It can be, but a lot of the times, it's the scar tissue actually pushing on the nerve and creating the nerve pain. And you don't even want to go down that road when it comes to the medical system, because they can't do anything but numb you out, or if you complain too much, cut the nerve. I'm not sure which one of those you want. So you got to get the deep tissue, okay? And foam rolling would help, all right? But take a look at what sets it off. Ask yourself what you did 2 hours before, or how tired you are. What sets it off? But if you get someone to do deep tissue on there, first treatment, they're going to get rid of 80 to 100% of it. Is that good enough? Mm-hmm. And we offer a money-back guarantee that if you take our personal treatment and training, you can have the body of a 25, 30-year-old. And I'm talking about a healthy one. And if you go to one of our therapists, that we're going to do more in that one treatment than all the other treatments you've ever gotten. And we're going to get rid of 80% of the problem in the first treatment. So we're looking at 3 usually. And if it's a really terrible situation, I mean terrible situation, where there was surgery involved, or the person had this for like 40 years, and they took a ton of drugs that told their body to shut up. And so the pain and the inflammation kept going, and the scar tissue is one big block. You can understand if it's calcified, it might take us longer.
Definitely. I actually just worked on a client before the show today, and been working with his shoulder, and I was doing his upper back the last treatment, and it was completely encasing his entire spine in scar tissue. So today we did his spine, and it was the most satisfying treatment because it was just like opening up all of these fibers, and I couldn't feel his spine at the beginning of the treatment. It was completely cased, like I said, and by the end of it, I could feel each and every individual vertebrae, and it was spreading from his shoulder over the scapulas and coming all the way through and into the spine, and makes sense with his job too, because he's a painter. So of doing that motion all the time, it's going to cause that rounding of the back to really encase that spine to protect it. So yeah, it was a really successful treatment.
So he's got wear and tear problem because he's continually doing the same motion. And so if he was on it and never wanted it, he would see you every 6 weeks as
Yeah.
long as he's a painter because he's got a weak point. If he's been doing it for 20 years, his body says, oh, that scar tissue's supposed to be there. So if he came into you every 6 weeks for about 5 times, you would actually erase the program of the dysfunction of that muscle tissue in that area.
Totally.
Now, if I can say one other thing, and this is really important, you were talking about his spine. Well, listen to this, everyone. You give me someone that's booked for a spinal surgery, and I'll tell you, we'll give you the money back if we don't prove it to you. But I've been here now in Mustafa for 5 days, and I've worked on 7 people that were booked for their surgeries, but some of them have 2 weeks to wait. Some of them had up to a year to wait because there's so many people going to surgery here. Okay, it's crazy. Well, do you know how many tacos they eat and burritos and holy smokes?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that the weaker your stomach is, the more problem you're going to have with your spine. And the other thing is that if we get an hour to an hour and a half treatment on your spine, we'll make you after that. You'll be 1 to 2 inches taller because we're going to restore all the pads, the little discs between the vertebrae, all starting from your coccyx, because that's your compass, loosening that up, coming up to your sacrum, working on the eyes of the lower back, and coming up the spine. We're going to go in and get rid of all the scar tissue, displaced calcium, and crystallization all the way up to your occiput. And then you're going to see that you can do a back bend you haven't done in 30 years.
Totally. Best treatment. It's amazing. And just the freedom in your spine and having your spinal fluid have the freedom to actually flow through and get into the brain. You feel completely renewed after you get a spinal treatment done. And just even when you get the occiput opened up and the oxygen flow that comes in and the spinal fluid getting into the brain, you're just completely clear. And then just get back to this question here. So just old age spots, and how do I get rid of them?
Okay, well, I will get to it, but just like I was going to say, remember something, everyone. All the pain in your body, all the stiffness in your body, all the weakness in your body says you've got a physical block in there. It can only be scar tissue calcification or crystallization. So I want you to really think about that, okay? And as far as the aging spots, that's mold. So you're a moldy oldie. So what's happening is your liver is too toxic. So we got to clean the colon, do the coffee enemas. But the reality is that can be turned on by antibiotics. Wine drinkers, holy crap. So by the time you're 40, if you're still doing a glass of wine every night, you're going to smell like you're fermenting, and you're going to actually start seeing age spots on your face, on your skin, especially your arms and your legs. And this is where the yeast in the body turns to fungus, and then it says, oh, look at this. This person's starting to die. And the fungus comes alive to start eating you. So that's not supposed to happen till you die or till like a few days before your death, right? Because a certain frequency and a certain vibration actually turns that on. So aging spots, they call them brown spots, aging spots,
Liver spots,
sunspots, liver spots. But the liver spots is the closest thing to the truth. Go ahead, Abby.
Definitely. And that's the cool thing too. Like I was on a lot of antibiotics growing up, so I actually did have like they were like freckly on my arms, and I was just looking at my arms as Dr. Wolfe was talking, and they're actually gone now, like pretty much completely. And that's all through detoxing, doing fasting, doing the perfect day, the coffee enemas, and like the tummy love and Fulvic. I feel like that's really kicked that into high gear for me. That's really cool. But that's the thing, even with the antibiotics, even with the change in our immune systems and how they really do destroy our good bacteria, we can restore it all. So it's never something to think like, oh, I'm stuck with this. Everything can be reversed. And that's what we really are just trying to get through to everybody, is that your body will take care of you. That's what it was designed to do. You just got to get out of its way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as soon as you change the inner terrain of your large intestine, then you're starting to win it back, because that's the garden of life right there.
Totally. All
Oh, and
right.
also for the age spots, Abby, they could put things on it.
Oh,
Like
totally.
they can use essential oils, they can use the Beyond Beauty cream, anything that's going to feed nourishment into that area. They can also do the salt flow, the skin brushing, anything that's going to up the circulation in that area.
Yeah, even the rose DMSO, you could do a little bit of that on there.
Yes.
Frankincense is a really good one for, or True Essence. Either of those would be great for topical use. All right, next question is from Iris Ulrich from Facebook, and she asks, I got pain from the tea. Should I continue?
Well, you didn't actually get pain from the tea, Iris. What you got was um, gas being released by the bad bacteria that was caught in the mucus and the fecal matter that's encrusted along your bowel. This means that you need to maybe do a little bit more, maybe a little bit more vegetables, not fruit. That might be more gassy, but you need to really up your water. Okay. And also, if you've had a chronic constipation problem for a long time, I guarantee you that maybe a 3 bag tea might be more up your alley than a 2 bag tea. So take 3 bags and then take 3 bags if you need to make a gallon of tea. But I would do the daily cleansing tea and always put the tummy love in, because the tummy love is really the deadly duo when it comes to reviving that large intestine.
Yeah, the tummy love is so incredible. Like we talk about it a lot, and we talk about other probiotics and things that you can take, and those things are just temporary. The tummy love is actually completely going to reprogram your inner terrain. It actually works with that native bacteria to populate them again. So it's not like taking the probiotics where you have to always be taking them to not really help out, just to kind of band-aid a situation. This is actually giving the immune system that you've always deserved to have. It's incredible. And I'm like so excited about it, just because for me, it's a life changer. It really is.
Yeah. And the other thing is understand that's why we come out head first, not feet first when we're born. So our mouth is open, our eyes are open, our nose, our ears. We get all mummy's bacteria in our mouth, in our nose, in our eyes. And even if you've had chemotherapy and antibiotics, if you just have one of mommy's good bacteria, you're on your way. Okay, so understand something. I have people coming to me in 10 years and then fighting with this. I've been buying the best bacteria, continually taking it, switching it to this, switching it to that. I'll do this one, it works for a while. Then I got to switch to this one. Yeah, well, that's because it's the terrain, that's the clue. I'm not telling you not to do good bacteria, but I'm telling you it's not going to be the answer to get you back your immune system, because mommy's bacteria was always the immune system.
Totally. Yeah. The only time people take probiotics is if they were on antibiotics or in a major situation. But even in that case, I would rather just see them double up on the tummy love and just take more of that, because that's really going to saturate into the tissue of the abdomen and help the bacteria to really flourish. And I would be doing more black gold instead, because that way they can really grab onto those particles and populate. I really just think that's the real solution to the bacterial problem we go through. It's the fact that we don't get what Mother Nature intended for us to have, and that's what the black gold and the tummy love is made of. So it's amazing.
Very good. So Iris, just know that we're with you. And guess what? I have sometimes pains in my tummy when I go off my diet. But understand something, it's just gas. And I would suggest that if you're not doing the belly button therapy, and if you haven't learned how to do the pelvic squat, or you haven't got a pelvic enhancer yet, you may want to check that video out. And just remember, we're releasing that whole series on Christmas Eve. All right, Abby.
All right, next question from Angelica Quaint, live from Facebook. Once water gets structured, at what point does it become unstructured? For example, if you boil or freeze the water, does that unstructure it? So it doesn't become unstructured with boiling or with freezing, but just if it's left outside in the sun for a longer period of time, that's when it will start to lose its structure.
Couldn't have said it better.
All righty. Next question from John Opalo, live from Facebook. He asks, I have major pain under my right rib and back. It seems to be my kidneys. I've had it for 3 years. I'm doing a liver flush tomorrow. Any suggestions, please?
Well, I bet it's not either. I bet that maybe the liver has some inflammation and scar tissue on it, but I bet that he's actually got problems in the hepatic flexure. So from the small intestine, which is 22 feet, your foodstuffs go through the ileocecal valve, and then they go into the cecum that gets triggered, and it pumps the waste up, so it comes up, and but here's the thing, it's getting stuck on that corner, and so there's gas and inflammation. I guarantee you, what I would suggest that you do is maybe get a hard rubber ball at the bottom of your rib. You could roll that around. But if you could get like a Wolfe deep tissue therapist, they could use their elbow and take that scar tissue apart, because you've got scar tissue under your ribs. If you had it for that long, something you have, okay, so I think that you've got a stricture in your hepatic flexure before or just after, and the poop's getting caught. So it causes inflammation. That inflammation causes the pain, and you think it's your gallbladder and liver. I'll tell you something right now. This is a true story. I ran the first colon therapy school in Canada, and it was almost, let me see, was it? No, it wasn't. But it was the first one in Canada and the second one in North America. And I will tell you that I had a surgeon come in, and all he did was take gallbladders out, and he worked for Toronto General Hospital. And he said that they actually keep the gallstones because people would come in and they would have pain and inflammation, and it would be gas rising and getting caught in the colon that would be putting pressure on the gallbladder. And he would go in there, and I'm not saying all the time, but they keep the gallstones because they take out the person's gallbladder, and people always say, well, let me see the stones, right? Because people really want to see that there was a lot of damage, because you're giving up a very vital organ. And so he would give him somebody else's stones. So understand something. Take a look at the scar tissue issue in your large intestine and work more on your large intestine. If you can, get an abdominal lift on your intestine. And even, you know what, if you've got a belly button therapy wand, and you'll see the belly button therapy kit on our website, you could take that belly button therapy wand and kind of push it up into there and move it around and see. I guarantee you're going to feel something. Hey, Abby?
Oh, definitely. I was just thinking about because you just worked on that side on me. I had the exact same thing. I had pain in that side for a really long time. And I had a couple rib injuries.
I was just going to say, you had that up under your back of your rib.
Yeah,
right?
it was my right rib as well. It was right around T10, I would say. But it's like I would have it through my front, and I had a knot, or it was like probably good size, like that, I would say, of a knot right attached to my spine, right by my belly button, right? It was probably about that big.
I can't see it, but I think it was probably about 3 inches by an inch.
Yeah, so that one was by my belly button, a little lower, and then I had up a bit higher, still attached by my spine, but more on my rib and by my floating rib. And then it was my QL was torn, and I had a calcium deposit on the very corner of my floating rib, and then there was the knot above it that attached to my spine from there as well. So I had the knot below, the knot above, then the tear and the calcium deposit on my rib, and that was causing me pain. Like I would crack my side of my hip like 3 times a day. It would relieve it, but it would always come back, of course. And like we'd always get in there, but I was like, we're for some reason just missing the mark here. So we really got in there, and I haven't had any pain since. So sometimes it's just that little calcium deposit that's offsetting everything else, and that's all it really was. When we really got in there, got through that tear, we found the calcium and got it, and it was a little rough, but we got through it.
Yeah, the majority of the population are in really big trouble. I hope you're all getting this. And I mean this. And I'm telling you straight. The majority of the population, you're in big trouble because you don't understand your body. You think everything, oh my God, if I can't figure it out, then let's go to a doctor. And then a medical doctor can't figure it out because if he can't give you drugs, then he's going to send you to a surgeon. But then the surgeon doesn't really figure it out, but he knows that whatever that mass is, calcium, scar tissue, or crystallization, he's just going to go in there and cut it out.
Well, and that's
So
the crazy.
cut it out.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing too, because it's like there were all those blocks that you don't really know. You feel like there's something there, but you're not too sure because nobody's ever been able to find it before. And then when you get the relief from it, it's insane. Like my liver's been functioning better. Like I can feel everything in this area just moving better. Everything's flowing. And that's the thing with just even those energy blocks or those physical blocks. It's causing such a block in our energy flow and in the actual function of our organs. So we really need to really look at everything at this level because this really is what the cause of all these problems are. It is the scar tissue, it is the crystallization, and it is the calcification. That is what it comes down to for everything.
So what you've got to do, everybody, and I mean this, is when somebody says that you've got a problem here, wherever in the body, okay, you got to look at the whole body. Because when you've got a chronic problem somewhere, you've got 10 to 20 blocks somewhere else in your body. So if you don't want to unblock those blocks, you go ahead and you just cut that chunk out, or go replace that joint, or get some mesh in, and now you've got a real physical block. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't you see what's going on here? I mean, this has got to stop. I really need people to get behind us. This is why we have this show. Get behind us, get behind yourself, get behind your family. You know what? And if your family goes to a hospital, you better have somebody there almost all the waking hours of the day protecting them. But do you hear what I said? Protecting them. Mm-hmm. Oh, what are you doing to my mother now? What are you giving her now? What is it you're doing to her now? You should see. People will come and they will talk to us like, we don't trust you. Meanwhile, we only use things that are non-toxic, that will never hurt anyone. But then we'll take them to the hospital, drop them off, and then wonder why all hell broke loose. Mm-hmm. Abby?
All right. Next question from Sammy Jones. They ask, good morning. How can you help with shingles? How can that be treated?
Okay, first of all, shingles are a virus. Now understand something. Everything in the body is there because you said, come on in and play. Did you get what I said? So the deal is you're acidic enough for the virus to exist. The virus cannot exist in an acidic person. And understand something. In a situation like this, stress usually sets it off, or alcohol, mm-hmm. or a really toxic, sugary diet. But actually take a look. Oh my gosh, yeah, I had 5 days of really hard stress, and then all of a sudden the shingles just whacked me. Or I didn't have any stress, and I was so worried about my husband. I was so worried about my kids. Jimmy's in the hospital. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to tell you something right now. When you overcare, you tear your body apart. When you care about things that you should mind your own business, if you can't take action and you're worried about something, then you're the disease. Did you get that? Listen, and this happens with women more than anything, because between the church, not every church, but between the church, a lot of them, okay, and between mankind, we have taught women that they need to stress out for the men, for the finances, for the children, and if you don't worry, you're not a good woman. So, but for men, they worry about money and finances as well, more than anything. So you got to get rid of the stress, and you got to get rid of the toxic diet. But understand, curcumin, cayenne, structured water, cleaning out your bowels, liver cleanse, perfect day. Okay, anything that's going to bring up the circulation and to bring up the heat. Mm-hmm. The more you can bring up the heat in the body, even though you feel inflamed where you've got the shingles, that's only because that's where they've attacked you. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you should be spraying on our pain away fulvic. Okay, we've got a fulvic pain away mist. You should be spraying that on, and our silver on, because that vibration also comes up against the virus.
Definitely. Abby? That's what I was going to suggest as well, is using the silver bullet gel, the pain away spray, not the essential oil. You want to go with the spray for that. And then also the humic acid concentrate. I would be adding that to all my drinking water as well, because it's a very powerful antiviral. So that's going to really help your body to protect itself from that virus.
And also, if you do get shingles on a constant basis, if you add our humic to your diet every day, you're not going to get the shingles because humic goes in. And Abby, will you explain it?
Yeah, so it actually goes in, and what it does is it will help to the body to get rid of the virus by increasing the terrain so that the virus can't live in that vibration anymore. And then it will actually coat the cell, so that host cell for that virus, it has receptor sites on it. So it actually coats the cell, and the body will never, if you're constantly taking it, it's always going to be coated in there. So if that virus comes into your system again, it won't be able to recognize it because it's in that coating.
Now there's a mind blower, isn't it?
Yeah,
And guess what?
powerful.
And it's all natural. And our humic is just made out of plant life that's 10,000 years old. So there you go.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So that's really powerful for like all viruses, and it's going to really protect your immune system. So even from different bacteria, parasites, and different invaders that can come into our system, the humic is really powerful. And the Tummy Love is a blend of humic and fulvic, and then it has some energetic frequencies in it to really help your good bacteria flourish. So that's all about that. And I'm going to get to our next question from Lillian from Buffalo on Instagram. I purchased 6 of your essential oils because they were much cheaper than Young Living. They're amazing. They're amazing. How can you do this? And thank you so much.
Well, first of all, we've been doing essential oils now for 32 years. And we have one of the best alchemists that make essential oils, I believe, in North America. And he handpicks almost everything that we do. And we're not a multi-level, we're not an MLM. If we were an MLM, we'd have to share the profits with everyone.
Exactly.
But I'm telling you right now, our oils will come up against any company any day, and the price will always be better. And the other thing is that they're in Egyptian glass, which nobody's doing yet, and it will actually help the oils be able to last 3 years longer. And they also, your oils will be protected against
5G
radiation
and everything.
And, that's right.
Yeah.
And EMF and Wi-Fi, 5G.
All
So
of the
that's
bad
why we
stuff.
went with these bottles. And these bottles are just absolutely gorgeous, eh, Abby?
Oh yeah, they're amazing. Super, super beautiful. When you do pour them, be careful with pouring them because they do come out quick. So just be careful with how you do pour them out. But they're incredible. They're so beautiful. And the oils are just like heaven. Like Dr. Wolfe was saying, the alchemist, he's been doing it for forever. And it's his passion. He puts so much love into every single oil he makes. So they are made with the most unconditional love you could get. They're
Yeah,
wonderful.
he's been doing it for 54 years. So now you know how old he is. He's up in his late 70s.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, next question from Mujid from Facebook.
Oh, Abby, can I say something? And I just want to say it, but guys, everything's on sale today for Black Friday, and that ends tonight at midnight. And this is our biggest sale of the year. So if you want to take advantage of the essential oils that we have or anything else, you might want to take a look at it. There you go. There's my sales page.
All right. So on Facebook, I have a silicone granuloma in my breast. Do you think I should operate on it? And for everyone out there, a silicone granuloma is a skin condition that occurs as a reaction to liquid silicone and is characterized by the formation of nodules. So I think this would be from breast implant. I am a fan of the show Botched, and I remember seeing people who would get silicone injections for their butt, and they would get these silicone nodules. But I don't know if it is from that, because you could get silicone breast implants that leak, which could cause that as well. But maybe you can answer that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a doctor, so a medical doctor. So first of all, I will tell you that I would not tell you not to get the surgery, but I would tell you this much. If I was going for the surgery, I'd be doing 10 days of the perfect day diet, and then I'd be doing a 14-day water fast with the fulvic, the ormus, the ATP, and that whole time I'd be doing a coffee enema twice a day. And then the other thing that you can do is just make sure that you're looking after yourself and drinking tons of water. But the reality is prep yourself for the surgery. Hey, Abby, that's
Yeah.
what you'd want to do. Make
100%.
Get
If
rid of all the physical blocks in the body except for the silicone block.
yeah.
Let them go in and cut it, and your body's going to go, hey, some of these silicone particles just got into your bloodstream, but we can handle it because we got no blocks. The liver's just Jim Dandy because you've been doing a coffee enema, an advanced coffee enema. Check it out on our website.
Totally.
Twice a day, I'm telling you. And guess what? You're going to look, oh my God, you're going to look 15 years younger. You're going to feel 15 years younger,
Yeah.
and you're going to be ready for that surgery, and you're going to walk in and out of there and heal beautifully.
I was just kind of brainstorming while you were talking and just thinking about it. And I would really, I wouldn't book the surgery quite yet. If this was me, this is what I would do. I would do the perfect day talk, like what Dr. Wolfe was just talking about, doing everything. But I would be really going hard with fasting. And then I would be really going hard with the fulvic acid, because it does pick up foreign things from our cells and detoxes them out. It neutralizes them and eliminates them from the system. And we do have so many modalities that we can go to pull out toxins from the body and to detox. So I'd really want to focus on that first before I go in with a knife. And then going in, and maybe they can do just even an ultrasound. I don't know how they're scanning to see if you have these, but if it's an ultrasound that's not too aggressive, they could go in and see the difference, just to see how much we can really detox out without having to go under the knife. And then maybe it's not even needed. We just never know. And setting your intention for that, like going into your fast and saying, this fast is going to eliminate all of the silicone granulomas, and having an affirmation throughout your entire process of eliminating it. Keep saying that every day, and you just never know. That's what I would do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Abby. You know that if you work on the 12 Braveheart loving steps, like every time you have a negative thought, just go 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I can heal myself. 3, 2, 1, I'm already healed. 3, 2, 1, I was created by God Almighty, and I'm going to act like it.
Yeah.
And then really take your power back. And if that means that you need to go away to Extrapa and come down and see me for 3 weeks, and just chill in a hammock and really just do your affirmations, do your 12 Braveheart loving steps, and do the things and say that you love your body. Because I guarantee you that you've been telling your body you don't love it. And we need to change all of that around. Listen, you'd be surprised, and Abby was right. You may find that that's not there because the silicone part is probably very small. The big part will be the scar tissue mass that they might want to cut out. Go figure, it's probably 90% of it.
Yeah.
And they want to cut the scar tissue mass out. So why not do the fasting and then find a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist to go in there and see if there is scar tissue, and have them gently pull it apart to get the blood in, the lymph in, to restore the microcirculation, which is the only thing that will get rid of this.
Yeah, definitely. And then even doing some of the padding and clapping. So if you wanted to get a protocol put together, we can even get on Skype and show you how to do the padding and clapping on the area to really help the stem cells produce in that spot specifically, so we can target it. And then even just showing you some other external things you can be doing, or looking in the perfect day, even just starting with dry skin brushing and some cocoa salt glows, really get that lymph moving so that the lymph can really do its job to get rid of those toxins.
Yeah, and what I would suggest is usually the perfect day is an hour, and it's $175. And what I would truly suggest to you is to actually go for an hour and a half. So if you're doing it with Abby or Sarah, that they can show you the whole thing, okay? So they can go over the whole thing with you. And, you're not paying a lot more. So, you're paying another $50, and it's $175 to have the best natural protocol. And what powerful women to be behind you like Abby and Sarah. And this is not a sales pitch. If we don't blow you away with the perfect day, anybody out there, just call. You don't have to give a reason, and just ask for your money back, because we know what we got and we want to give it to you. Okay?
Totally. All right, next question from Frank from Detroit on Intercom. I wish to buy your humic, fulvic, and life crystal products for my whole family today because they are on sale. Can you please give me an easy explanation that I can share with them?
Abby, why don't you take that one?
Sure. Um, well, humic acid, if we look at humic acid, it's what's missing from our soil today. So, as people are aware, our food doesn't have the same nutritional value it had once before, and that's because the soil has been depleted. So, by taking in the humic acid, whether it be the black gold, the humic acid concentrate, the tummy love, you're going to get all of the nutrients your body needs that we're lacking today. The fulvic acid is like a delivery man and a garbage man at the same time. So it's going to take nutrients, whether it be the nutrients that are already in the fulvic, like the electrolytes, or it's going to pick up different nutrients from the body and deliver it into your cells. And then it stays in the cells, picks up 3 times its weight in waste material, and then it eliminates that. And it's bioremediating it as it's being eliminated, which means it's neutralizing neutralizing the chemicals or the heavy metals or whatever it might be. So you're not getting that Herxheimer reaction when you're eliminating the waste like you do with other detox products. So the fulvic is so powerful, so amazing, and all of those are really easy. You're just going to mix them in with your drinking water. And then the life crystal products, those utilize the life crystals, which were made by Dr. George Merkel. Basically what it is just living energy for your body, and it's the only organic kind. And it's mixed with fulvic acid, and that delivers it into the cells, like I was explaining how it carries the nutrients in. It does the same thing for the life crystals. And that's reprogramming your mitochondria and giving your mitochondria of every cell, which is like the powerhouse of your cell, it's giving them the energy they need to thrive. And then for each life crystal product, there's different bioenergetic frequencies in them for different things. So, for instance, the Divine Vine is for the thyroid and pineal gland. So there's different nutrients and different frequencies that help those glands to decalcify, to defluorinate, and then to nourish them properly so that they function to their best of their ability. The pineal is for the pineal and pituitary gland, and then the ATP plus is for just every single cell in your body, basically. So hopefully that was explained easily enough and not too complicated.
I think you did a great job. It's like you memorized it or something.
I've said it a time or two before, I think, so. I got it down to a science.
You do. So everybody, what's different about me right now? Oh yes, I had to move. Well, I moved because I needed to be under this fan, but I had to move earlier because the battery was almost dead and my cord wouldn't actually reach to plug in. So yeah, so here I am, I'm back.
I thought you just didn't want to wear your hat.
There I am, I've got my crown, my Doc Detox crown.
Yeah, perfect.
And there's our bird. Okay, all right. All right, so what's the next question?
Next question from Dora Walter, live from Facebook, asks, since the endocannabinoid system controls appetite, pain, cognition, and nerve health, inflammation, and much more, can you talk to us about the different functions of the endocannabinoid system?
Well, I think that she just actually said it.
Yeah.
But what it actually does, it creates the joy and it creates a lot of pleasure in your life. And understand something, it's blue light and stress that knock it out. Mm-hmm. And tell me we don't get a lot of blue light today. That's why the Tesla eyewear is so important. And I'm not doing the sales pitch here. I'm just telling you that if you work on a computer or you've got fluorescent lighting or you are on your phone all the time, or an iPad, or you're in a mall, you work in a mall, you need to wear stuff like that because blue light and stress are the two things that knock out the endocannabinoid system. Mm-hmm. And that's why CBD, everybody buys CBDs now, they're trying to make up for what the body's getting burnt on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a very important system in our body, just like our digestive system and everything else. It really helps just to regulate everything. That's why it's like our body is our own ecosystem. Everything needs to work together and be in balance. So the endocannabinoid system is no different. And it's all about really being connected and staying in the present moment to have your endocannabinoid system function properly. If you're not taking in, like personally, I don't take CBD, but I don't have a problem with mine. And it's all because it comes down to being self-aware and making the right steps with diet and your mind. That's really what it all comes down to. And making sure your vagus nerve is functioning too. So doing like the belly button therapy and wearing the things to protect you from the things that we know are burning out the endocannabinoid system. And if people are wanting CBD, it is great to. I personally think it's a great addition to any system. We have some things that we work with at the clinic. But you really just want to make sure you're sourcing it from a reliable place. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, because it's the wild, wild west out there, and you think you're getting it, but you're not getting it. You think you're getting the absorption, but you're not getting it. And a lot of the CBD is toxic, okay?
Yeah.
And when the regulations come in, that's going to change. The wild, wild west is going to get calmed down. Totally. And I'll tell you right now, and this is the truth, there are certain situations that I would use CBD, but everybody's CBD crazy, okay?
Definitely.
And there are certain situations that we would actually do hemp, but it's legal now in Canada to smoke marijuana. So everybody's jumped on board, and now because it's legal, so everybody's walking around, and I mean walking around a zombie, because when you smoke it, it makes you crave things that aren't good for you. Not many people will smoke hemp and then actually make a salad. They'll eat junk. So, I don't know, where is this going to end? You know what? And whatever happened to, I can just 3, 2, 1, I got this, do the lying heart breathing, calm the heck down, and I own my own life, and I'm fun to be with, and I've got tons of energy. So now we got to stimulate ourselves to be fun to be with, and we got to numb ourselves out when we can't handle our own emotions.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying poo-poo on things, okay? But it's just like alcohol's on every street corner. Hemp's going to be on every street corner. And it's all about dumbing down the nation so that they can bring in things like tons of surgery, tons of drugs, and they can pass tons of laws to take your human rights away.
Totally.
If you think I'm kidding, yeah, well, you haven't seen anything yet. All right? I haven't seen a government that I like. All right? I didn't say hate, because I don't hate anything, because this is planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. Mind your own business, mind your own health, and know that your body will heal itself. Yeah. Abby, what's the next one?
All right, John Hennessy, live from Facebook. What can you do for a heart murmur?
Well, first of all, John, I've had a heart murmur when I smoked too much pot when I was younger, and I've also had a heart murmur when I drank too much alcohol when I was younger and I smoked too much cigarettes. And you give me a person with a heart murmur, and I'll give you a person that's running an acidic lifestyle. How's that? And that's 99.9% of everybody. How about this, John? How about 90% of the population that gets rushed to the hospital, which this is the season from Thanksgiving right till New Year's, more people go to the hospital with heart attacks, not heart attacks, John, because they're so gassed up, because they eat this, drink that, eat too much, drink too much, say too much, they do too much, but they don't digest the stuff, and it just becomes a manure pile down in their tummies, and the gas rises, puts pressure up on their heart. If somebody had a heart murmur, I'd get them on the curcumin cayenne, I'd get them drinking structured water, the perfect day diet, I'd get them doing the lion heart breathing, and have a little bell go off on their phone every 5 minutes, and they go, 3, 2, 1, I got this. Calm down. I got this. I am calm. I'd have them working on this. John, if you change your personality, you're going to change your reality. Okay? Cancer patients usually don't get well because they don't change their personalities, and they don't get rid of the hate and the anger that they've got buried, because we only get cancer. I will never have cancer. I will not have a heart murmur. I will not have a cold or a flu. Okay, but I might get a hangover. Okay? All right.
All right, next question from Jacinta Mornello, live from Facebook. My throat feels swollen lately when I swallow food. I've been choking. Not sure if it is related, but I think I had a slight reaction to Novocaine recently. That was the first time I felt it swell. What can I do for this? Thank you.
Abby?
So, just a second, just need to. I would be using essential oils topically and in my drinking water. If you have inflammation going on, then we just really need to bring that down. And essential oils are a really easy way to bring them down, and especially through the throat, because the water and the essential oils will really saturate in there. I would use, you could do like peppermint a little bit, or thieves topically, and you could even use those internally. And then I would also be doing, sorry, I just lost my document here. You've been choking when you're swallowing food. I don't know if there's any blockages or anything, but you could get a neck treatment. I don't know if you've had whiplash or anything recently, but sometimes that can even cause a lot of pain or swelling in the throat. Or if you were at the dentist from the Novocaine, it could have even been something from the dental work that caused it.
You know what I would do? I would take. You could take a little bit of peppermint, but I would just take our immunity for myself. This is myself. I'd use our immunity essential oil, and then I would just put a couple of drops in water. I would also put some silver in there, and I'd also put some fulvic nano eye drops in there.
Yeah.
And then guess what I would do? I would make a container of it, and then I would just take enough, like 2 or 3 ounces, and I would gargle with it and gargle with it and gargle with it.
Yeah.
So to really exercise that throat and to actually get the essential oils, the silver and the fulvic in here. And then I would find somebody that does Wolfe Non-Surgical or Wolfe deep tissue, and I'd have them come in here and work right on the throat area, because there's something that's caused this to go under spasm, and come right underneath and do the deep tissue right under here. You're going to open this up.
That's what I was thinking too.
So a little bit of DMSO, a little bit of the rose DMSO, and maybe some essential oils on the throat to really go in there and bring the fire in, okay? To bring the circulation back.
And then
I was just going to say, on an emotional level, okay? Understand something. I know that you did Novocaine. I know there was other things, but not everybody who does Novocaine can't swallow. You get this? I hope everybody gets this and understands that when you get a condition, it's because you have an emotion that came first. The physical condition came next. And that is law. So understand, what are you trying to choke down? What's wrong with your relationship with yourself or someone else? What are you trying to choke down that you're trying to make yourself okay with? And I guarantee, guess what, girl? I just hit it on the head. All right.
I was also just going to say nebulizing with the silver and the fulvic as well. Just and you can also add the harvest minerals to that.
Yeah, we got to work with the physical. You're right, Abby. So we will do the nebulizing, but understand something. The day that you make your thoughts, okay, and emotions the priority in your life is when you start to have a life.
I think the biggest thing too is making sure that we look at the physical and the emotional together. So when we're working on that problem, we're actually addressing the emotional side of it with that physical therapy. So we're releasing both at the same time. So doing the nebulizing and doing everything, maybe you have issues with communication or something like that. You have a hard time vocalizing your opinion. You're going to do affirmations that are going to reprogram that belief about yourself. So that way you're able to come at a situation with confidence instead of being scared about it. So, and that's going to completely heal that entire chakra, which is the energy center in that area, which controls our communication and different things. So sometimes when we get locked up in that area, that's really all it is. And we need to go in and look at that in a different way.
Beautiful. Thanks, Abby.
Alrighty, next question from Stanell Brooks Brewer, live from Facebook. I know you're from Texas. I don't know if that's why I kicked in that accent there, but I have
cowboy.
All right, I have a capillary at the surface of my skin on my face. Every now and then it bleeds.
Every now and then it bleeds?
Yeah, I don't know if it's being scratched. Is that why it's bleeding, or?
No.
I would be doing patting and clapping on that just to get the stem cells in there to get rid of the capillary.
I'd be doing that plus the Beyond Beauty cream, maybe a little bit of DMSO, and the other thing is that that's why it bleeds. The same reason why somebody will get a bloody nose for no reason. Okay, why is that? High blood pressure. That's what the body does. It tries to blow off a little bit of blood.
Right.
So now you're getting yourself stressed out. So what I want you to do the next time this bleeds, I want you to ask yourself what that day was like, okay? Or what the day was, the couple days prior to that. You'll find out that you were on the tear, you forgot to drink enough water, and you got a little bit too intense about life.
All right. Next one is from Zavil Drodes, live from Facebook. Would I take Tummy Love and Black Gold together, or is that redundant? So personally, I suggest mixing. This is how I do it, so I'll just say how I do it, and this is what I suggest to people. If you're taking the daily cleansing tea, I like to mix, because you do it twice a day, so I mix my Tummy Lovin' with both of the teas a day, and then I have Tummy Love in the afternoon, so you're getting your 3 doses. And then the Black Gold, I mix mine in my smoothie, and then if I have coffee in the morning, it's added to the coffee grounds as well, so it creates more of a healing coffee. So you get the Black Gold 3 doses with the coffee, and then the 2 smoothies, and then the Tummy Love is the way I mentioned. And that's personally how I take it, and it's not redundant taking both products in the same day, because they are working in a different matter, because you have the particle size that is larger with the humic acid powder, which is the Black Gold. So your bacteria and different things, they can latch onto it and feed on it for a longer period of time and really, really nourish the body differently than just the Tummy Love, how it works. They're formulated to do different things.
So anyways, Abby, how do you like my new hat?
I love it.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
You know, you're right. It looks like a hat.
It does look like a hat. It also looks like you have a little earring on the one side. Can play a game. Just draw all over you. So Paulina Santos, live from Facebook, asks, hi, when I was in my early 20s, I injured my knee in soccer. I was told that I hyperextended it. Now in my mid-30s, I always hear grinding noises whenever I go up steps or stairs. There's no pain, but I know it's not normal. Any tips?
Where does she live?
I don't know where she lives, but definitely you just need to see a therapist, just a Wolfe deep tissue therapist, and you'll be good to go. You might need the 3 treatments, but after 1, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this?
No. After the first treatment, I bet you we turn the whole thing around.
Yeah.
1 treatment.
Yeah, I was just thinking of muscle memory. She might need a second one in a few weeks just to clean it up, but probably not.
Yeah, but we could also teach her the padding and the clapping, the DMSO, the essential oils.
Totally.
And then if she got onto and did a pelvic expander, she did the pelvic squat, and also if she cleaned out her colon, because a lot of times what really influences the knee and the hips is the large intestine.
Oh yeah, like
and
leaks
guess
down.
What? And even the right ovary will affect the knee. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
So very powerful.
Totally.
But anyways, I'll tell you something, and I mean this in the best way, but why don't you give us something hard to do?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, in a half an hour, I'd love to just take somebody like this and put them on and do a live FaceTime and show that in a half an hour, that knee is turned around and nobody else could do it. And I wouldn't charge her. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because I like, because I like to show off, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So some tips you can do in addition to the deep tissue. So give us a call to find somebody in your area if it is something you want to do. But you can do dry skin brushing on the area to really help increase the circulation, get that lymph moving to get rid of those toxins. Cocoa salt glows on the area to infuse that magnesium in to really relax it and make it feel better. And then just utilizing essential oils, DMSO, bringing down inflammation with the curcumin cayenne. The solution that's going to get you the result you want is the deep tissue therapy, for sure.
Absolutely. And you know what? Why don't you, we're going to be in San Antonio, aren't we, in February?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where she's from. I recognize her name, of course, but I'm not, I think she might be on Ontario for some reason, but I could be wrong. Who knows?
In Ontario? Well, yeah, let me think. Well, no, we're not going to be in Ontario for a while.
Yeah.
But
But
you know, Ace is out in Ontario. Ace
there,
is in Toronto,
that's true. That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next up we have from Foy Stender, live from Facebook, asks, what do you do for bone spurs around my knee? I had ACL surgery repair about 7 years ago. Recently had an MRI and they found the spurs. Your thoughts? Thanks so much. From Oklahoma.
Okay. First of all, well, come and see us at one of our trainings, like in Palm Springs or
San
San
Antonio.
Antonio. Yeah, or come up and learn, come up and get treatments or take a personal treatment and training. But here's the deal: they're not bone spurs. It's displaced calcium because you had so much inflammation in the area. And how about we go and do a Wolfe Non-Surgical treatment, and we actually get rid of those bone spurs probably in one treatment. And then what you would do is actually then use the DMSO, and you would use the pain away essential oil. You could use some. You could do some padding and some clapping, but that's the reality. But then ask yourself why it's that neat. Because did you get constipated? If it was your right knee, I guarantee you jammed up your cecum. If
Oh, what happened?
I think we lost him.
Is the show still live right now?
Yeah.
Okay. We just lost Dr. Wolfe for a moment. So we were just talking about the bone spurs on the knee. For that, I don't know exactly what he was going to say for that, so I'll just say what I would say. And so for this situation, we can go in and do the knee treatment and break down the bone spurs, because it is just the displaced calcium that we're working with. We work with it all the time with so many other conditions. They just gave it a name because it's reforming more so. And so the calcium products, of course, the SAC ionic calcium products are so important for this, because that's what's really going to drive that calcium back into the bones. But with the deep tissue therapy, we're able to really get in there. We're able to shave it back to the way it should be. And then the shaved off calcium will get delivered back in when we're taking the supplements. And then, as Dr. Wolfe was saying, we can be utilizing the DMSO, the peppermint or the pain away essential oil on there. With the essential oils, with a problem like this, you really could use them every 15 minutes if you wanted to really, really supercharge it. And then the DMSO, we usually only do that about 3 times a day. And the DMSO, there's the rose one, which is really gentle, and then there's a gel one that is a bit more intense. So with both, you only use about a pea-size amount on the area, and that really helps to stimulate and drive the nutrients into the area. And when layered with the essential oils, it really helps to drive those essential oils deeper into the tissue. And as we know, essential oils are one of the most healing and highest frequency products we can be using. So that's so important for healing that tissue up. And that's why we want to do that so often throughout the day as well, because the more we do, the more often we utilize the essential oils, the quicker we are going to heal that actual tissue. So you wouldn't, like, you went for an MRI. If they're suggesting more surgery for this, this is definitely something you don't need to do. You definitely can just really follow the perfect day, focus on your diet, make sure we're not taking in things that are going to cause inflammation in the area. You don't want to be doing a lot of breads or pastas or sugars or alcohols, things like that. We want to be really plant-based and eating an anti-inflammatory diet, so that way our joints aren't becoming inflamed, and then taking the things that are really going to nourish those areas as well. So like we said, just take a look at the perfect day, and if you're ever wanting to really plan together for this, you can book a perfect day consultation, or even come up and see us, and we can do some treatments and really get you on a plan that's going to give you back the knee from your youth, because we can do that. All right. Do we have him back, or?
Not yet. I'm reading
Not yet?
right now.
Okay. So the next question is from Peter from the UK on intercom. My friend came to you for a week with a fibroid in her pelvis that is now gone. I have one in my breast. Can you do the same for me if I fly there? I think we got him back. Can you hear me?
Hi, gotcha.
Hello. We're back. Okay.
I just had to go get a taco.
Oh, okay, of course. I bet it was amazing. All right. So I finished up that question. I was just moving on to the next one, so I'll read it out again. So Peter from the UK on intercom asks, my friend came to you for a week with a fibroid in her pelvis that is now gone. I have one in my breast. Can you do the same for me if I fly there?
Did you answer it already, Abby?
No, I had just read it, so I just wanted to read it so you could hear it as well.
Oh, all right. I'm going to just say this, and I mean this in the best way, but a fibroid, give it something hard to do.
Yeah.
Fibroids are one of the easiest things that we do, but out there in the general public, it looks like they're just beyond. Nobody can figure it out. Get the knife out, cut the fibroid, leave a big hole, take a pound.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Fibroids are really easy to do.
They really
and
are.
That's the God's truth. Go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, no, 100%. I remember when I first started doing the work because it seems so foreign to be working on things like that. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it scared me a little bit. I'll admit that 100%. And then when I started doing them, I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever.
Abby?
And for women, like, I just want I want every woman to understand how incredible this is, because we as women are made to be afraid of something happening in that area. So we sometimes even are too afraid to go even explore that area. But this therapy completely transformed my thought on breast health, because it is so easy to go in there and make them the healthiest breasts in the world in one treatment. And
well, guess what?
There's no fear in my life regarding anything to do with any illness at all, because I know that it is a scar tissue issue, and this is the solution to fix it all. Because the body just takes care of you once you allow that flow to come through by opening up all the fibers.
Well, let's pretend that every woman had a fibroid, and every woman was scared to touch it, and every man was totally panicked when he saw it and thought it was the end of his wife's life. What are they going to do?
No.
They're both going to panic.
100%.
They're going to make bad decisions when you panic. Understand something, and I want every guy to get this that's watching this show. You need to come and take a personal treatment and training, or let your wife come and take our courses. Even if she's not going to practice, let her get certified in this. She's going to come home after a whole life coach certification, Wolfe Deep Tissue and Non-Surgical, knowing how to become the practitioner for the whole family. Would you like to stay a patient for the rest of your life, or would you like to be a practitioner? The bottom line here is that if I can scare the majority of the population into taking drugs, into getting surgery, okay, that's called a corporation. Understand something. I want anybody out there to try to poke holes in me and what I say, because I come from my heart, and you know what? I know who created me, and I know who created you, and you have a genius inside of you, and you have a practitioner waiting to be woken up. And let me tell you something. All the women that are out there scared about fibroids and they get surgery, you know what? You're going to come back for another surgery, and I really hope to God that they don't spread something when they do cut into you. Because guess what? 50 trillion cells in your body, and they all have consciousness. Understand something. Right now I want you to focus on your toe, your big toe. Now, just as you can focus on your big toe, you can focus that your big toe does all the thinking for your whole body. You can't tell me where your brain is, because it's in every cell. So when a knife, I'm not saying don't get a knife taken to you if it's a life-threatening situation. Make sure it's a life-threatening situation and you have no other option. And that time is truly run out, and you don't have some doctor panic because, well, I'm writing an article, okay, called Implants Are Killing Us. And this is all about surgery, and it's all about implants. And understand something. Every company wants your business. Now you can say, well, Dr. Wolfe, you want our business. Well, I want your business until you learn how to mind your own business. There. Abby?
Yeah. All right. So we can definitely help you if you come out here. That was your question. If we could do the same for you with your fibroid, 100% we can help you if you come fly to see us, or if you want us to come to see you, we can help you that way too. Next one from.
I was going to say, we'll either send a therapist to you because we've been all over the world already doing it,
Yeah,
or you
exactly.
can come to us. And understand something, everybody out there. Most people don't know this, but we actually go around certifying clinics, doctors, and practitioners. And people that say, look, I can't leave my country, it'll cost too much because we've been to India, we've been to other countries around the world because it costs too much. Would you come here and certify me as a therapist? We'll come to your country and do it. I will just send maybe Abby or Sage, or I go myself when I'm doing the trainings that I specialize in. So understand something. We've made it wide open that any family, any clinic, any practitioner can have what we have, and we'll come to you or you come to us. Abby?
Yeah, yeah. Next question is from Judy in Orlando. I'm wanting to know how the crystal EMF protector and bodyguard work because she wants to purchase for her kids for Christmas. So the show this evening is going to be all about that, Judy. So if you go on tonight at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Detox show or on Facebook or YouTube, you'll be able to learn all about the protectors and the bodyguards.
And you know what? There's nothing as beautiful and there's nothing as inexpensive that does what this does.
Yeah,
And it's all about radiometers.
Yeah, amazing. So next question
All right.
from Angela Pretty, live from YouTube, asks, "Hi there, what would you do for cataracts?" So,
Well, I can tell you, can I take this, Abby?
of course.
You can tell them, but I'll just tell you this much. So we're going to be doing a testimonial on a beautiful lady. Her name is Elvina, and her husband was due for cataract surgery. And Abby's going to tell you the whole routine of what we told him to do. And you're going to find out that even though he's an older gentleman, his cataracts have come down by 50% over the last few months. Abby?
Yeah. So he came in to see us a while ago. We did an ear treatment on him, and he mentioned to me that he had cataracts and was going to have to go for surgery. And I told him that's not going to have to happen. So we got him on the perfect day, got him off of the bread and the cheese and the little things that he was still doing that were kind of taking him down, causing that inflammation and mucus buildup. And then, of course, with like the blue light and different things that we're taking in that can really disrupt our vision, and it tries to attack at the brain. So our eyes create the film to protect ourselves. And then the mucus buildup and everything on top of it's just adding to the problem. So first things first, we needed to get rid of the things that were causing the inflammation, which was correcting the diet, getting more structured water in. And then we got him on the Bright Eyes, which are the fulvic nano drops as well. So he was using those with the silver bullet solution. And then he was doing the eye soaking with that. So he was soaking his eyes with that and then using them regularly throughout the day. And I know that he was communicating, I think he was communicating with Dr. Wolfe as well throughout it, but it turned it around so quickly just by making the diet changes and utilizing the Bright Eyes and the silver bullet solution. And then with the ear treatment we actually came in and we did the occiput and around the eyes, right around the ocular bone. So that just allowed circulation and blood flow and everything to come through. So that way the products and everything were going to function and work to the best of their ability as well.
And just know this, thank you, Abby. You can also take the fulvic eye drops and get an eye cup. It's just a small eye cup. You get it from the drugstore. And you can just tip it back and do an eye wash and just blink your eye and just being soaked. And I'll tell somebody to do that for 30 seconds to a minute. And you can also do that with the silver. And he was also using the Biotron light. So these are the things that really made it for him.
Oh, yeah.
And also, Elvina was on him to get off the inflammatory products, and she made sure that he was doing the fulvic and the tummy love, and also doing the daily cleansing tea, and curcumin cayenne 5000. So all inflammation goes boom.
Yeah, it's amazing. Very happy for him that he doesn't have to go for surgery. Next question from Lydia, live from YouTube. Dr. Wolfe, thank you for the opportunity to ask my question. My hands get numb several times during the day and during the night, and they hurt and burn at the same time.
Okay, so it's not actually your hands. Eventually, your hands are going to crystallize and get scar tissue because the circulation's being cut off. But understand, it's up here in the shoulders, so it's probably got to do with right in the neck right here. And then also, what we would do is we go in and work on the C7, work in the neck area because in the C7, cervical 7, that's that bump behind your neck. We would go in on top of it, around it, and clean it right out. Then you're going to find that you have two knots right here because you get stressed out, girl. You don't know it, but you walk around with your shoulders up all the time. And then what happens is you have them up so much that you cause contraction, and then they don't want to let go, and they cut off what's called the brachial plexus, which is the nerve supply that comes down your arms. So you need to take a really good look at that. So I would suggest, I would get a Wolfe deep tissue therapist to get in there, and I promise you, it's going to make a difference. But really, you know what? Wear the love band and set a timer for every 5 minutes, and then see if your shoulders are up. I guarantee your shoulders are up. I guarantee that you're running a panic stress belief system, and most people have their shoulders up. They're not relaxed because God, we live in a terrifying world, and at any moment we're going to lose our life, or if somebody in our family is going to, because there's a terrorist everywhere. No, there's just one right here. Right now. So I would suggest too that if you want, do what's called vascular flushing on your hands, because your hands are taking the brunt of the beating. So what I want you to do is 3 minutes warm, 1 minute as cold as the water is. Okay, 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold, 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold, and finish with cold. All right, and then see how that works, and do it 3 times, repeating it, and do it 3 times a day, and that will help so that the hands, you're flushing them, right? So with the cold, you're contracting. With the 3 minutes, you're opening everything up. So let's flush the crystallization out, which is the stress that you're creating up here that's going down here. And the other thing is if you see a Wolfe deep tissue therapist, they will work on the neck area, and they will also work on your wrist. They'll also work on your elbow, because every joint is like the bend in a river. And you know what? Okay, the problems they're not in the muscles, they're in the joints, okay? Except when we have massive scar tissue, like if we get mesh in our pelvis, or we had a cesarean. I mean, women that have a cesarean, I really pray for you girls, because any woman that has a cesarean, you've got to see a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, because that scar tissue is choking off all your organs. I know I'm a little off track, but my gosh, you've got to get rid of it. Okay.
Definitely. Next question from Mike Ledford, live from Facebook, asks, "Hello, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. I need your help. I'm facing a heart valve replacement. My good friend John Hennessy had asked me to contact you about an alternative treatment. Can you help me with this? Also, I am a diabetic and would like help with that as well. I live in Washington State. P.S. Hi, Abby. I'm your biggest fan." Hi, Mike.
All right. So I hope he doesn't become a stalker. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, I'm kidding. Here's the deal. You need to understand something. We talked about it, the perfect day, the fasting, the coffee enemas. Let me tell you something. People that are diabetics, they have horrendous diets. And if they're on insulin, then guess what? They lose their mind. Oh, I'll just eat this and take my insulin. There's no sicker person on the planet than diabetics. And you know what? A diabetic really has to learn how to love themselves. They need to protect themselves and respect themselves, because they're not doing it. And understand something, your heart valve is getting worn out because it's so acidic and so toxic. And the insulin doesn't help it.
Yeah.
Okay? It doesn't help it, because that's your life jacket every time that you jump into Sugar Lake. So here's the deal. If you want to call up and get a consultation, I'll tell you something right now. There's a really good chance you're not going to need a heart valve. And if you get a heart valve, my friend, you're going to be on Coumadin for the rest of your life, which is a form of rat poison, thinning your blood out. How are you going to like that now?
Yeah.
Now you've got diabetes. Now you're taking Coumadin, because now you've got, what do you have? You have a foreign device in you, implanted in your heart. Now tell me that's not causing inflammation, irritation, acidity, and scar tissue. Why do you think you need the Coumadin? Because without the Coumadin thinning out your blood and keeping it flowing fast,
Yeah.
you're going to glick up and have a heart attack.
Totally. Yeah, definitely.
I,
So,
I would call, you need to call in. This
yeah.
is a situation where you've taken yourself to the cliff, and guess what? Not a band-aid is going to help. And guess what? John told me about you 2, 3 weeks ago, and we still haven't heard from you. So procrastination is your inflammation. All
Yeah,
right, Abby,
definitely.
you want to tell them a few things?
Well, I would just say definitely get on the perfect day because everything starts with that. So if you can even just make those steps and start there, everything's going to be a lot easier, especially if we have been procrastinating, even just making the phone call. Maybe we just need to get on some structured water and move over to more of a plant-based lifestyle at the beginning until you can feel more confident with the changes and you'll be encouraged more to really jump on the bandwagon that way. That's what I would suggest for you, Mike.
Well, here's the deal, Mike. You've always put yourself last. That doesn't mean that you've always been there for everyone. It just means that you put yourself last.
Yeah.
And when you decide to put yourself first, and you decide to make self-loving, self-care decisions from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, if you just have adult onset diabetes, you can kiss that goodbye. It's going to leave.
Totally.
Okay? And you can kiss having a new heart valve goodbye. And the reality is if you don't make these steps, you might be kissing your heart valve, getting a heart valve, kissing your own heart valve goodbye, and maybe your feet, your legs, and everything else. Because that's how this thing tumbles. And guess what? You're going to a system which is called the medical system that has nothing to do with healthcare. You need to get that. You think healthcare is drugs, surgery? Which one of those are right? And do you think that taking insulin is the reason why you're diabetic? No, I'm not putting you down, my friend. I'm just telling you that you're looking for the answers in the wrong places. And you are going to make your life into a 911 emergency, and then I won't be able to help you because you'll be always in the ambulance and you won't be coming to my place. Thank you.
All right. Next from Marilyn Jean Graber from Facebook. Hi, Abby and Darrell. I just bought the Healthy Mouth Essential Oil. How do you use this? Do you just take a swig after brushing teeth? Thank you. Blessings to you both. So you can brush your teeth with it. So you can use it, mix it in with your toothpaste. You can mix it in with silver as a mouthwash. You can mix it in with oil pulling. You can just take a little bit and swish it however you want. Any of those options are great.
Absolutely. And
Next.
that,
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go.
I'm like running short on time here, so I need to get through some more of these. On November 22nd, Rebecca Hulishka from Facebook asks, how to help my friend that has had a hysterectomy, hernia surgery, kidney stones, pancreatitis, asthma, and allergies.
Well, I'll tell you something right now, and this is not to cut anybody short because Abby said that, but understand that this girl here is hanging over the cliff, and somebody better grab her really quick. You can't have that many dominoes fall. And I want to ask also why your friend does not like herself,
Yeah.
because you can't damage your body this much. You just can't. You can't unless you're working on it. So I'm not saying this happened. So this is for everybody out there. Were you sexually abused? Were you physically abused? Are you being physically or sexually or emotionally abused by your husband, by your family, or did it happen when you were younger?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. Let's find out what the history is here, and let's rewrite history. And the other thing is call in and get a consult. You know, I think it's really great that people are reaching out, but the thing is you need to take massive, energy to show those 50 trillion cells that you do love them. And you need to look in the mirror, everybody. When you go to brush your teeth tonight, shave or wash your face, look in the mirror and just say, not Darrell. Say your name and say, Darrell, will you forgive me? I'm going to honor, love, respect, protect you from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes. So help me God. Did you need to say that every time you go into the bathroom, whether you go for a pee, do your makeup, anytime you go into the car, before you start the car, before you shut the car off? If you don't practice loving yourself, then you're never going to. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of haters out there because there's only love and there's only hate. And you guys are running hate programs. But you know what? I've got people that are putting one foot in, okay, testing the water, and the other foot is in the grave. And we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. All right, Abby.
All right, next up from Steve from Ohio on YouTube asks, my father has a steel rod in the upper part of his left leg and the pain is killing him. His doctor says they will have to go and have surgery again. This is scaring us. If we come to see you, can you please help him?
Abby, you want to take this?
Yeah, well, definitely. That's what we do. This is people come to us in these situations all the time. So we can definitely help him if he's going to help himself and do all the things that we suggest. And there's no need to be going in for other surgeries if we follow the right protocol. So definitely, we would love to help him.
And understand something. In the very first treatment, I'll make a money back guarantee that we get rid of 50% minimum of pain in that leg. So there you go.
Yeah.
And then if you hang around and you do the things we ask you to do with your father, or if you come up here and do a personal treatment and training, or we'll send somebody down to you and you'll know how to do this, and your dad will never be in pain again. And you can get rid of the other 20 scar tissue blocks in his body and become the hero of his life. Abby?
Definitely. All right, next question from Betty Comstock from Facebook. She asks, what would you do with veins in nose? I was told they need to be cauterized. They get dry and I get a bad headache on temple. Just started with nebulizer. I don't like medical docs. Love you guys. Love Detox tea.
The veins in the nose are reflective of the heart. So there's a heart thing going on. And how many times is your heart broken, and is it still broken? Are you lonely? Are you depressed? How long has that been going on? And the other thing is I would be putting up the nose with silver gel. I would be nebulizing the fall and the silver. And what else would I be doing, Abby?
Well, I would really just be really focusing with the nebulizer. I would be adding a little bit of the Ormus to it as well to really get those negative ions in there. And then even topically on the outside, like I wouldn't really use essential oils internally. It might be a bit much, but I would do frankincense and I would do it just around. And you could even do a little mixed with the silver gel and mix it inside. And that frankincense is really going to just increase the light vibration in that area too. And it's really good for things like it can be really healing for veins or scars or pigmentation and different things like that. So the frankincense is very healing. Pain away is really good for veins as well. So I just think that might be a bit too aggressive in the sinuses or in the actual nose. So I would stick with frankincense, but that's yeah. If it's on the outside, you could do pain away just like around the outside if it's out external.
I would be looking at getting an Avacen. Now, AVACEN, take a look on our website. And right now with the Black Friday going on, there's $350 credit into our store when people buy an Avacen.
The Bioptron too.
Circulation. Yeah, and the Bioptron. Well, we know that if she had an Avacen and a Bioptron, it's going to go away.
Yeah,
that's it.
Totally.
Because, but take a look at them. We can discuss them if you want. But at least start with these steps. But understand something. We're still going to come back to the heart. Okay? Yeah. Fill your heart up with love for yourself. Find your joy.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Also, get on the curcumin cayenne 5000. Make sure that you get on the daily cleansing tea and move those bowels. And put some fulvic in your drinking water and drink structured water. And I promise you, the veins will go away. And you know what? Abby's right. And put the frankincense on the veins of the nose inside as often as you can. And then use silver gel to make sure that it doesn't get dry in there and rough. And I'm going to tell you, those veins are going to go away.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah. So this will be our last question for today because we are coming to 1 o'clock already. It's crazy how quickly the time flies. So Ethel from Virginia asks, I've been on your daily cleansing tea for 5 years now, and it has really saved my life. I really want my sisters to take it, but they are skeptical. Could you please explain to them why it is so important? They are watching your show right now.
All right. So the daily cleansing tea was something that I put together, and that was about almost 30 years ago. And there's no laxatives, there's no chemicals in it, there's no irritants in it. They're just supportive herbs, and high frequency supportive herbs that go in and support all the detox organs in the body. And they gently do it every day. So what should we do? Should we pile up the waste and then go in and do a deep cleanse every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? Or do we gently cleanse every day and always feel amazing? So that's really all it's about. And it's all it is just taking a glass of daily cleansing tea that tastes like iced tea in the morning and another glass at night, and you build that into your lifestyle. And Abby, take it away.
Yeah, definitely. It's honestly the simplest thing you can do, and it's going to ensure that it keeps your immune system in a pristine shape forever, and you're not going to really have to worry about things because you are taking care of the mother of all organs. You are protecting your immune system by taking it every day. Everybody that takes it, their health just completely does a 360 just from this one thing alone. Because we are getting rid of the waste that's bogging us down. That waste that's caked onto the walls, that's not just in the intestines, that's getting through our whole body. Everything is connected. So we just really need to make sure we're keeping the most important area of our body in the most pristine condition that it can be in, and that involves doing every little bit of daily cleansing every day, and we'll get there.
That's right. Gentle baby, loving steps. Take a look at the 12 loving steps, Braveheart steps in the Dr. Detox library. Take a look at the perfect day. Just start playing with it. We've given you all the information. And then when you're ready, make a call, get a perfect day consultation. And I just want to say this, everyone. Midnight tonight, our Black Friday biggest sale of the year is over. And just want to say this, 2 weeks from today, I'll be back home, and that'll be our next Q&A. So get your questions. We'll be collecting them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on Intercom. We'll collect them all. And if we get a lot of them, or too many of them, what we'll do is we'll just do a Q&A like Friday and then the Monday, and we'll get them all caught up. All right?
Definitely.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say for the Black Friday sale, everybody out there who is interested to know what's on sale, I have a list here. So the Qui-Fi is on for 40% off. The SAC Ionic Calcium is 15% off. You're gonna have to just give us a call to get that one ordered. The Daily Cleansing Tea, humic and fulvic products, essential oils, all of our Doc of Detox supplements, the gold-plated structured water unit, and these smart guards for the phones. Those are all 25% off. And then we have energy medicine equipment up to 20% off. And then the Tesla Lightwear glasses to protect from that blue light. Those are 10% off today. And that, again, that ends at midnight tonight.
And just know, everybody, that, as I said before, San Antonio certifications, the whole life coach, the Wolfe Tissue, Wolfe Non-Surgical is filling up. So check it out. And that's about it for me.
And that's about it for me too. So it was been awesome to be here with everybody as always. Thank you so much for all your questions. And we will get to the rest of them that we didn't finish off today. We will get those on the next show. And keep submitting all of your amazing questions because that's why we're here. We love to answer them for you. And you guys have a really amazing weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the States, and have a great Black Friday and a great long weekend.
So everybody, just remember and never forget, okay, that love is a self-serve job. Healthcare is a self-serve job, okay? It's your job to fill your own heart, to look after your own body, and then become the light that you pass this on to your family, to your friends. This is how we end the suffering. When you stop suffering, the rest of the family does. And when you do stop suffering and you start loving yourself, your family's going to have a tantrum. And when they do, you're going to hold the loving line. And then within 3 to 6 months, you'll be the hero of the family. So hang in there, and it's 3, 2, 1. I got this. And remember this, the love band, if it's snug as a hug, that's a kiss. All right? And we want to create new programs in our life, all right? From the minute we rise until we gently close our eyes. God bless, and have the best weekend of your life. Bye now.
If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.